Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Wednesday, October 15th. Happy hump day. I hope you're doing fantastic. In this video, we're going to do an update on SPCE stock, Virgin Galactic. We're going to take a look at the price chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals and the price action, what to expect there in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But spoiler alert, there's a few things that haven't happened on the chart in over 4 years. And I think this is the clue that we need to see massive price appreciation, which will more than likely be coming over the next couple of months. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And again, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Full disclosure, I do own SPCE stock as well. I did buy one position. I started a position a few months ago. I haven't added since. Really, I might look to add one or two more times, but for me, I'm pretty happy with the position that I have. Like I said, it's not my life savings or anything going into this stock. It's just a long-term YOLO kind of position and set and forget it. Zero or hero, and more than likely going to be holding for several years. And as we know, we're probably not going to see anything too crazy, fundamentally speaking, until the new year. And then I think maybe even into 2027, we'll see what kind of happens with, partnerships with governments and things like that. But overall, I think that this stock has a lot of upside. And the chart is really screaming bullish at the moment. And you can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. And we did have some buy alerts go off on the POW algo alerts as well. I did add quite a few alerts to SPCE stock. And one alert that just fired off not too long ago was the ultra oversold. So when you're oversold on multiple time frames, which is the hourly, 4-hour, and daily time frame, so RSI, just anything 30 and below is considered oversold, generally a good time to start loading up. And then if you're 70 or above on the RSI, you're overbought, and generally not a good time to load up or, take some profits, because things are kind of getting overheated to the upside or the downside. And this ultra oversold alert went off. You can see here it was on April 7th. And then shortly after that, we went up over 200%. Now, if we zoom out here to the weekly time frame and we zoom in, you can see here that we have an equilibrium. So we had that short squeeze. We had the percentage short was like over 20% at one point. So we had that huge short squeeze. So we went from the low here to the high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, tried to break bull, and we're just not seeing the follow through yet. So if we can get a weekly candle close over, let's say 470, I think we're off to the races. And then we should be back up to around that 664 local top there. But overall, this equilibrium is looking to break bullish, and you can see the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up. All right, so now we're going to take a look at some things on the chart that haven't happened in over 4 years, folks. Take a look at this. So I've mentioned this before in a previous video, but the weekly EMA 12 and 26 period, so the exponential moving average, you can see here on the weekly time frame, the 12 and 26 period. The last time we had a bull cross was way back in the summer of 2021. And you can see the price went from about 280. You have to factor in the reverse split, right? It did a 1-for-20 reverse split. And if you look from the low there at post reverse split, the low was 285 and it saw a run up to around $1,145. So it's not the greatest to be looking at price, because it's kind of fake, right? Because you did a reverse split, so you just divide everything by 20, and that was the actual price at the time. But let's do it in percentages. So in terms of percentage, it ran over 300% on that EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Then we had the bear cross, and then from the time we had the bear cross to the bottom, it was down over 99.6%, so almost 100% loss, which is crazy to see. And look at this. This hasn't happened. We haven't seen a bull cross since June of 2021. So over 4 years, folks. Look, we had almost one there, almost one here, almost one there. And now we're very, very close to seeing it happen. In terms of the EMAs, you have EMA 12 sitting at 371 and EMA 26 sitting at 378. So we're 7 pennies away before those cross bullish. And we're not weekly overbought yet either. So I think that, we were weekly oversold, monthly oversold, and now we're going to see a massive move. Okay, so now I want to show you something else that hasn't happened in over 4 years. We haven't seen 2 weekly candle closes over the 50 weekly moving average since, again, back in the summer of 2021. Then we had we call this on the daily time frame, when the 50-day and the 200-day moving average cross. It's called a golden cross, which it's very close to happening again now. And again, the last time that happened was again back in the summer of 2021. So there's 3 things that haven't happened in over 4 years, folks. And look how close we are to seeing this happen now. If I just zoom in here on the 1 year, you can see we have the 50-day moving average at 345 and the 200-day at 366. So when those cross, that's called a golden cross, and generally expect a lot of upside. But on the weekly time frame, when the 50 weekly and the 200 weekly cross, that's even more bullish because it's the weekly time frame. So I call that in the POW algo alerts a platinum bull cross, and which is just essentially a golden cross, but on the weekly moving averages. And then bear cross, platinum bear cross would be when the 50 is above the 200 and they cross. And then look at the downside. The price was at 132 and then dropped all the way down to about $2, right? So one thing that we haven't done in over 4 years again. So we have 3 major things. We haven't seen a weekly MA 12 and 26 bull cross since summer of 2021. We haven't closed 2 weekly candles over the 50 weekly moving average since that same time as well in 2021. We're very close to seeing it now. So if we close this week over the 50 weekly at 415, that'll be week number 1. Generally, you want to see 3 candle closes for confirmation, but I'd take 2 at this point just based on the amount of time that has elapsed since it last closed above it. So I think 2 weeks in a row will be full send mode. And you can see that's very, very close to coming to fruition here this week with only a couple trading days left. And then, like I said, that golden cross, which hasn't happened in over 4 years as well, very, very close to seeing that play out as well. And one thing that I want to remind everybody here as well is on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame, we have no nearby resistance after the 50 weekly until the 100 weekly at $13, folks. So this thing could easily be back up to around $10, $12 in my opinion, in a hurry. And if we get, the rest of the market continuing to just rip, and you see market expansion and breadth opening up, we get multiple rate cuts, which are more than likely going to come in. You're going to probably see a series of cuts. And then I think you're just going to see overall just the market euphoria and hype really pick up into Q4 here and into the end of the year, maybe even spillage over into 2026. But like I said, we'll see what happens with SPCE and Virgin Galactic into 2026, because that's when you're really going to start to see a lot of these orders. And, the company actually, maybe might start making money. And but we'll see what happens, if they're profitable, if they're able to sustain it. Like I said, I think this is a multi-year kind of bet, and that's exactly what it is for me. It's a bet. It's kind of zero or hero, and I'm not holding for $10. I'm not even so sure I'm here for $100, right? Like it's a very small position for me, not risking my life savings. And I know a lot of people have lost their shirt on this one and have invested a lot more than they were willing to lose. But we just have to look at it for what it is. And it's a very high speculative name, right? It's like crypto. It's like MJ stocks. The only difference is with crypto and a lot of these MJ stocks is, a lot of them are making a lot of money. Like these crypto companies, these MJ companies, a lot of them are starting to turn profitable, and some of them are making tons of money, right? Some are super profitable. And like I said, SPCE, space travel, this whole sector is probably going to be around, in 10, 20, 30 years. It's probably only going to get bigger. So like I said, I like the thesis. It's just, obviously there's going to be, only a few winners, but it's one of those sectors as well where it's the barrier of entry is super difficult, right? There is some competition, you got Blue Origin and SpaceX, etc., but nothing really. I would say Virgin Galactic's a little bit in a league of its own. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Like I said, I expect a big move coming over the coming months as we start to see multiple things, 3 things, huge things that haven't happened in over 4 years. So I think giddy up. We're in for a rocket move. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next one.